This Lads Discussions meme is...
Another one. Another one.
If you wish to send us memes, just so you can get a shout out at the start of these videos, be sure to send them to our Twitter handles. Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the latest episode of Lads Discuss Death Battle. Joined with me is the villainous Yoli mate, which will make sense next episode, I swear.
Hello,
And doing a less racist introduction is Sean.
This podcast ain't perfect, but it's a lot better with you fans out there.
Pretty wholesome, but we have another guest. And let me introduce someone who's been on the Lads podcast before. I'm still debating whether he's a weeaboo or the next anime protagonist, Brobuscus.
Howdy, gamers!
You know, every time we record these, I keep forgetting, oh yeah, Discord has a soundboard, until someone does the air horn or duck.
I think we started using it on Brobuscus as well.
Yeah, you guys did.
I saw that.
It's like, I can't escape it when I'm watching Brobuscus. I can't avoid it when we're playing Pokemon. Like, we've been playing...
Dread it. Run for a bit. The soundboard is used all the same.
I mean, I can mute it. I mean, just saying, I can just mute it. But where's the fun in that? But...
Alright, let's all shut up and let's talk about this episode.
Great. Make me edit in the duck.
The delay on that ruined it.
No, it was actually in sync for us.
Oh, really? Okay, because it was like I clicked play and it like took a second. It took like 1 second to actually play. I'm like, why?
Yeah, no, we heard it perfectly fine.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
Welcome to Brobuscus, the host of the Brobuscast, both Death Battle Edition and Ruby Edition.
Howdy, gamers.
And speaking of gamers and gaming, let's talk about Cole McGrath versus Alex Mercer. The 3D...
Finally!
Yeah, the 3D voted champion part. And then he said Froden. I don't know why. That was in my head for some reason. The Froden episode. So, after the big hype that was Bill Cipher versus Discord, many people were speculating, can this fight also live to that hype? And I can disappointingly say, yes, it wasn't a terrible episode at all. It was actually fantastic.
It's the fastest episode of the season to get on trending. That's insane.
It got into the gaming trending as well. I noticed that when I was watching it this morning. So, yeah. Cole McGrath versus Alex Mercer. The...
Sucker Punch, pay attention.
Maybe Activision as well, because they apparently still own the rights to Prototype. Like, Microsoft, you own Activision now, like, get on Prototype 3. And put the prototypes on Game Pass.
We can hope that they do something with Infamous, but they gotta finish up their Ghost of Tsushima DLC. They've been taking a while on that.
Sucker Punch re-release Infamous 1 and 2. Cowards!
I mean, yeah, people online can have it working on emulators. Bros and lads do not support pirating games. Do not do that. Then you have no excuse, Sony and Sucker Punch. Like, if the game can run on my shitty laptop, not allegedly work on my shitty laptop, then yeah, you could easily put it on the PS5.
Billy outs himself, confirmed.
But I have never played on any emulation. There is no stream proofs. There's no gaming proofs.
There's definitely no video proof on your own channel.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's
not.
what they all say.
That'd just be completely random.
Yeah, and there was definitely no more. I was panicking when a sign showed on screen and I got into a panic. But speaking of panics, I don't actually know how that works in this case. So let's talk about Cole McGrath versus Alex Mercer. So, I was aware with these characters, and obviously after the Lads and Brobuscast episode, I had more of an idea of them, but obviously, when it comes to doing Lads, or even when I watch the Bros, they don't want to go into too much. We don't like going into too much details because obviously we want to see like it represented on the death battle. And I gotta say, I think I have more respect for these characters. Alex Mercer, mostly from the comic panels and his origin story. I think his whole villain arc actually kind of makes sense now. But I still,
a little bit.
I still do prefer the idea of a virus trying to become human. That honestly sounds like a far more interesting story than a virus becoming a villain. Like, the idea of this symbiotic creature becoming, you know, learning his past and tries to better himself sounds like an engaging story. Like, if Prototype does get rebooted, I hope they kind of stick to that story.
Yeah, and then Prototype 2 was basically just, screw all that.
Yeah, yeah, it's kind of, if you don't read the comic books as well, it just comes out of nowhere. Like, because apparently the good ending is the canon ending of, well, I say good ending, you do kill some innocent people in the collateral damage of your fight. But he goes on about...
Well, I don't think there's like a bad ending, to be fair. Like, I think the ending of Prototype is just what it is.
No, there is apparently a bad ending where you can just kill everything.
Ah,
but
alright then.
So, we kind of brought it up, but like, I think Prototype was a franchise they didn't... it was just meant to show the power of the next-gen consoles. There was no plans for it to even get a sequel. Apparently even the developers were really shocked when they were asked to make another one. Which probably explains why the story's a little all over the place. I do want to kind of address my first few complaints I have this episode. I do have more positive peoples, I swear. But these are in the opening of this episode, so I think it makes sense.
I think it's the same issue I have.
Yeah, so I think this is not what they meant. Like, here's the thing, I've seen Turok's reaction, I've seen some people on Twitter and Reddit. I don't think the people behind this episode resented it. I do not. If they were willing to sit down, write it, and apparently they did use bits from their old script, which I'm surprised they still kept that. Like, because obviously in the lore aspect of Death Battle, Whiz and Boomstick, they had it in the trash for 10 years, which fucking hell, if it hasn't been changed for that long, you're gonna have more than maggots in there. You're gonna have the flood from Halo.
Yeah.
But
or even worse, the freaking mold from RE7.
Yeah, like at one point left my bin for like a week, and it was swarmed with maggots. So I'm just picturing what would a bin that has been worked on for 10 years ago look like.
I have seen reaction videos like genuinely ask like, is this like, did they actually have a script from 2013? I'm like, no, it's a joke.
In saying that though,
yeah,
it did. Okay, this is the thing I do kind of want to say, 'cause I have a bit of a hot take of how this episode was written, and it's more on the positive side. So this episode was meant to be like we're talking about the analysis first anyway, so I guess I can talk about it now. This episode was meant to kind of be like a tribute to the, because even the editing style I realized was very season 2-esque. Like, because if you look at the edit of the past episodes this season, and then look at this one is clearly meant to be a tribute, and mostly like meant to be like, oh, look back on how far we've gone. Like Boomstick cringing at some of his humor. Like, even when he's saying the ex-wife jokes, like, at first I thought, I didn't really bring that back. But you can kind of hear in the tone of his voice how he's kind of like, it's kind of like how he's reading it like, oh, just like my ex-wife's boyfriend's stripper. It's like, you can hear he's kind of like confused when reading it. Like in the lore aspect, it's like, wow, did we really write this?
And even towards the end, they brought back the old school of let's settle the debate once and for all line.
Yeah.
I was so happy they brought that back.
Yeah.
I thought that was funny.
So this definitely has that old school Death Battle episode vibe, like season 2 or even season 3 style.
Could you imagine if they went a step further and had like the analysis end clips?
That would have been great, because I don't really see the clips from these two being copyrighted.
Why?
That would have just made it perfect.
You don't know how terrifying YouTube copyrights can be.
Trust me, I know. The last bro episode, last lads episode, I should say. Spoilers, people. Me and Brobuscus are the same. We had a symbiote character.
Done, done, done.
Plot twist. I keep shape-shifting into Brobuscus when I'm talking in this episode, but after that, I shape-shift into Bro.
Yes.
God, I already have a lot to edit. Can you imagine if I had to also edit Bro's episodes? Jesus. Just to give an idea, people, I still have 3 more footages of Pokemon Randomize I need to edit, and a whole separate ways to edit. Like, I'm on a mission this year, let's just say. But,
but honestly, I was gonna say, I'm glad they didn't use the end of analysis clips, because that kind of would have not been good for the way they ended Cole's analysis. That silence, I think, worked perfectly after the quote Boomstick said.
Yeah, and that's the other thing as well. They clearly resented this episode, which we will get more into detail. The fight would feel like trying to think of a good fight that didn't really have the momentum of like an excited, like Ant-Man versus Ant. It kind of would have felt like that, where they were clearly what needed to do this because it was highly requested, but you could tell in the animation they were clearly wanting to get back onto another project this year. Probably Bill versus Discord. But this goes into my main complaint. I think this is just how it was written, and I can understand why people get the wrong idea. Boomstick saying like, we're finally doing this long after these guys have become irrelevant. So I'm just like, at first that threw me off. You'll even see my reaction, I kind of raised an eyebrow. But obviously I didn't do a major complaint about it because I quickly thought about it, like, I don't think they're trying to say these games are irrelevant, they're not important enough for us to do them. Like, because people have even gotten that misconception. I saw this on Turok's Twitter, not from Turok himself, but someone in his Twitter said like, oh well, even on the podcast these guys say like, oh, we don't want to do this episode. That's not true. They've never said that. I've asked people, I've even had friends in the Death Battle Discord. Sorry Sean, you're not the only friend I have on that Discord, I am sorry.
Don't cry for me, I'm already dead.
Oh, you're fine.
I can confirm that everyone who worked on this episode liked these characters and liked the match.
Yeah,
right.
People need to. This is the thing I've always said about Doug Walker and Nostalgia Critic. You've got to separate the people behind the show with the characters within the show. I mean, I just say that for all of media. Like, how the characters say things is not always the opinion about like the actors. You know, like Boomstick, like Chad isn't a sexist, beer obsessed redneck who is a gun enthusiast. He's a fucking nerd. He's probably a bigger nerd than Wiz. But yeah, just people just quickly like, oh wow, they were really disrespecting this match. I was like, no, it might come off as that when you first hear it, but when you really think about it,
yeah, it probably doesn't help the way Boomstick says, oh, look what I found in the trash, a script for this episode.
Yeah, okay, I agree with that bit. That one was a bit too far. I think it would have been funnier if, I don't know, Boomstick was quickly like dusting off like an old script. They're like, yeah, we were totally planning on doing this, like just quickly dusting it, like trying to make it look like they've always had it planned. But just they forgot about it. In fact,
probably.
I think that could have been a funny idea. They could have opened up with like an opening skit where Boomstick's going through like the files and he finds that episode and he's like, oh shit, we were meant to do this.
Oh, sort of like Excalibur v Raiden.
Yeah.
Like how that started up.
Yeah, kind of similar like that. Obviously, you know, budget, maybe they didn't think about it sometimes, they thought this was funnier, but like, yeah, it's a complaint I have, but I just think it was just poorly written. I don't think it actually represents what the people behind the show think of the episode. And people just got the wrong idea. Am I annoyed if they thought of that? No, because I can understand it, because I've seen media where characters or a franchise is mistreated. I don't think this is the case, though.
I don't think it is either. I mean, the joke doesn't land short. I don't think you need that many like good jokes to sell the selling point of both these two, which is their stories and how they both end in a certain way.
Yeah. I'll say my final positives and I'll let you guys rummage through the analysis. I think when they brought up the Shadow the Hedgehog joke, at first I thought that was going a bit overused, but then I started thinking about it after my reaction. I think Cole and Alex are like perfect representations on like here's my opinion about Cole. I think Cole is an edgy character done right, like the original Shadow the Hedgehog in Sonic Adventure 2, where he's edgy, but there's substance to it. There's a reason he's like this. That's kind of like how I view Cole. There's a reason he is this bitter person, because he was just an average Joe doing pretty alright with his job. Suddenly, life decided to say, fuck you! Then Alex Mercer represents the current Shadow, really. Just edgy for the sake of edgy. The fact they even make fun of...
I honestly just thought the Shadow thing was funny.
It was funny, but it also got me thinking, like, man, these two really are good representations of, like, Shadow the Hedgehog. Like, one, how Shadow should be, in my opinion, and the other one, how Shadow is.
There's actually a way they could have taken that a step further. I remember Tora bringing up one of Alex's moves where he, like, holds himself at his opponent, just basically so he can basically homing attack. Ooh, like Shadow the Hedgehog!
I think they did bring that up, like, when he does that cannonball thing, which I completely forgot that was a thing he did. It looks so goofy.
Honestly, they could have mentioned that, like, one more time and then just have Boomstick go, okay, this is getting weird.
I also like the fact they take the piss out of that quote he says in his trailer. They call me a criminal, a monster, a terrorist. I am all these things. I was like, I thought maybe I remembered that wrong. Like, maybe that was just something in my memory, but the fact that quote was in the death battle, I was like, nope, okay, I remember that line. It's so bad. Like, I'd say that line's probably worse than the, well, that was a thing joke in the episode. It's like, oh my god. I like the fact they took a piss out of that joke as well, because, yeah, that's a pretty shit joke.
Also, speaking of jokes, I don't know why I can't stop laughing at the whole, like, ice farts combined with the Tobey Maguire scream.
That was you are a fan of fart jokes from Unusual Suspect.
That is true.
And that Maguire scream.
I don't know what the hell was the deal with Tobey Maguire in this episode. They brought him in on, like, everything.
Definitely a season 2 episode 5, that's for certain.
Overall, to sum up this episode, electricity, Tobey Maguire, symbiotes, and Shadow the Hedgehog.
I saw someone in the comments of this episode.
We're done here.
Yeah. I saw someone in the comments of this episode actually referred to this as Electro versus Carnage, and I'm like...
Yeah, people in the comments of my
pretty much
said that too.
I mean, if we actually went with Carnage versus Electro, my money's on Carnage.
Yeah, especially with the whole Dark Carnage thing now. Yeah.
Oof.
Oh, I was gonna say, I was about to ask, after hearing Alex's analysis, do y'all actually think Alex can beat Carnage?
No.
No, I really don't think so. I think he could beat Alucard. I remember one of my friends talking about wanting to do that matchup.
You could probably beat Alucard.
Lads debate.
Given the numbers that they said, actually, yeah. Like, the main thing that would be keeping Alucard going is the regen and all the souls thing.
Oh god,
yeah.
I just got to the bit. Freaking
yeah, Alucard's regen is definitely better than Alex's.
Although, if he goes level 0, Alex could just feed off of the zombie army.
Oh, true. Yeah, well, alright, there you go.
Lads debate, hint, maybe. I'm actually kind of interested in that now after that little talk. Also, I just got to the bit in Alex's analysis when freaking Kirby Linkin Park. Jesus Christ. Whoever edited that Kirby, you deserve a raise.
It's probably Parker.
Yeah.
It was either Parker or DJ, because DJ said he did help edit this episode.
I think DJ did like the final like YouTube cut of the like he kind of like spruced it up, because the YouTube edit, like the edit from like the what we have now from what we had like on first and members is different, especially in the post-fight analysis.
Yeah, I noticed that. Like, I've seen reactions where it's just like, hold on, I don't remember that being the footage used in that part of the episode.
Yeah.
But,
yeah, I remember DJ brought up something about that, and I was like, oh, well, okay, hold on. Because someone had mentioned that, like, a complaint they had about the edit for the post-fight was that when they were explaining a lot of their points, they just used footage from the fight. There's a lot of footage from the fight in the recap. And then DJ was like, maybe you should watch the YouTube version, the public version. And I was like, oh, well, shoot, okay. So I did, and I was like, oh yeah, that is different. Oh, okay.
Do you know, ever since I've left first membership and I've gotten the championship, I do tend to, every time people say like, oh, you should watch the public one, I'm like, I am. It's like, oh yeah, it's still on Rooster Teeth's website. I tend to forget that. But my final say, honestly, analysis was pretty good, informative, it was funny, and I do kind of like the fact they take the piss out of their old writing, because I think we kind of said this in a previous episode this season, like, sometimes it's fun to just look back on and just realise, ah shit, that was stupid of what I said, so I kind of like that. I think it added more charm to the episode, because if it was really just, oh, let's just use our old script, and that was it, that's not funny, that's just lazy.
Right.
But the fact they took the piss out of it and updated it made it funny for me.
Yeah, the whole shadow boomstick thing.
I'm surprised, mate, you're not talking about a certain boomstick joke.
Peter Randall, a 69 name.
I smell copious amounts of lore inbound.
Dun dun dun.
Also, hey, since we got shadow boomstick, is that maybe foreshadowing a Persona episode?
Oh great, we're gonna.
Well, I know one Persona episode that everybody's been predicting to be this season, so maybe.
Yeah. It's possible.
Just conspiracy, your early mate is coming out again. I think I still have that image, actually. Oh, let me try and find that.
Honestly, my only problem with the analysis is the smorgasbord of references they put in there. Like, some of them I'm like, okay, cool. I mean, like, they had the Spider-Man stuff, they had the Shadow the Hedgehog stuff. That's pretty cool. But then out of nowhere, just Goku's muffin button. Like, what?
I don't get that.
Yeah,
I
didn't even acknowledge it in my reaction, so I was just like, okay, random.
All right, Sean, do you want me to explain it?
You can be quick.
Okay, it's literally just a Team 4-star gag.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I mean, I know it was a Team 4-star show. I just felt as though that was not the right time to use it.
It's just an out-of-pocket reference for no reason. I'm like, okay, weird.
Yeah, it's like, I remember when they used to be very clever when they did Team 4-star references, like Goku vs Superman, Kaioken, Superman, Kaio what? And gets punched in the face. Like, that was a bit more subtle then.
Or the ducklet with a helmet in the background of Vegeta vs Shadow.
That's very obscure, but yeah, but it's like, I don't know, they just, now that you guys pointed that out, it's like, I didn't think much of it, it's just like, oh, Team 4-star reference, but now that you mention it, it's like, yeah, that is kind of stupid. It doesn't make any sense in this context. I guess given the next time? I don't know, I'm just trying to justify it.
Don't get me excited just yet.
More on that later, Billy.
Alright, we'll just leave it in the freezer for now and we'll get back to that subject. But yeah, my final say, analysis was good. Do you guys have any final says, or shall we... Okay, that time it was delayed.
I just clicked it.
Fair enough.
That took me way too long to find.
Oh, I just always have it open at the bottom left. Just for moments like this.
That's actually not a bad idea.
But are you guys satisfied with this? I do want to actually ask, since Sean, you're a big fan of this, how did they represent Alex and Colt for you?
Honestly, I really love Cole's analysis. I have a sneeze coming on, so I'm sorry for that in advance, but Cole's analysis was done really well. I love the storytelling they threw in, and I love seeing the look on people's faces when they got to the part about Kessler being future Cole. Sometimes, you know, people don't fully know the stories, they just know the matchup for these characters. Seeing a reaction like that to, like, these plot twists for Alex and Cole is always nice. I really also thought Alex had a good analysis too. Like that whole dun 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 thing Parker did, that got a laugh out of me. I'm not gonna lie. Both the way they ended these analysis were perfect for these two. Like Boomstick talking about the sacrifice Cole made and what made Alex technically human at the end of his story. Yeah, I thought that was great. I love both these analyses.
I also just like the line that he gives for Alex, like when he dies. Live by the Kobe symbiote, die by the Kobe symbiote.
Yeah, I think that end analysis for Alex Mercer is still going into my theory about what the theme of this season is, just depression. Like, Alex Mercer couldn't have a happy life after finding out the truth. It's like, oh, your wife's gonna shoot you in the face. It's like, damn, man. He actually wanted to live a peaceful life. He was living in the mountains.
We brought that up last time, and I joked about Spider-Man being brought back.
Jesus Christ.
There were tons of references to him in this episode.
Almost every character this season has been depression. I argue the only one that hasn't had that is the Dragonborn.
Quickly, mate, talk about Half-Life 3 next episode. We need the lads' curse to strike.
Talk about Half-Life 3 right freaking now.
Do it, you coward.
Nah, I'm not gonna try and force something.
Mate, that's literally all we do on Lads Discuss Death Battle.
No, I've said I'm not gonna force something. Watch there be another Star Wars matchup.
Oh. There you go. I swear, if they reference Star Wars next episode.
We got Palpatine versus Xehanort coming up, boys.
If either a Star Wars joke or a Star Wars episode is announced next, I'm gonna scream, damn it, mate! We could have had Half-Life 3! We could have had Freeman versus Isaac!
I mean, given the characters, you might be able to make a Palpatine joke. Right,
before we do any more foreshadowing...
Anyways.
Oh, I should have said foreshadowing, damn it. Missed opportunity. Hey. Right then, so you guys happy with the analysis? Shall we move on to the fight? Because I'm pretty sure one of us is excited to talk about the fight.
Yeah.
Fight time.
Right then. So the fight.
Okay, so I'm just gonna say right now this fight is a 0 out of 10. You want to know why? Because it doesn't have this in it.
Oh yeah, they took out the scream.
I heard about that. It was in the comments, it was in the reactions I was watching. I was like, okay, what the fuck is going on? I don't understand.
Watch the preview.
In the preview, Cole screamed when he got yeeted.
Huh. It's like it's such a weirdly delivered scream too.
Yeah, if you can, like a comparison on screen for those two different scenes for people to get context, that'd be nice.
I might actually go back. I never watch previews because I like going in blind. But that is pretty funny. Like just hearing the clip, I think Brobuscus played. Like,
yes,
that. I think I found a new sound effect for my videos.
Just Paul S. Cole screaming as he's getting tossed.
Will that replace the Yoda death scream?
Fuck no.
It'll add on to the expanding Billy sound library.
Just my file opens up like a door. Just all the scream sound effects. Welcome them into Cole scream.
You know, now I just need to see. Now I need to see Cole get yeeted to the Yoda death scream.
Yoda death scream versus Death Battle Cole death scream or yeeted scream. But although speaking of screaming though, this episode was pretty damn brutal and awesome.
Yeah.
As well as the soundtrack. I know we usually save the soundtrack for the end of these, but come on, man, I have to talk about it. The soundtrack is so good.
It really, I've been listening to it a lot.
Same.
It's called Inhuman. It is Brandon Yates, Swats, and Omega Sparks. Back-to-back rap tracks, but I kind of like this one a lot more.
I didn't think.
I still think y'all need some. Y'all need to get some better music taste if you think that the last episode had a rap track.
Jeez, yeah. People are still debating that.
Because no, it's not.
Yeah, listen. As someone who listens to rap music, which might surprise a lot of people, yes, I do listen to rap. as much as how good the soundtrack last episode was, it's not a rap. Yeah.
Anyway, so who on the team keeps selling their souls to make the 3D fights this season go so hard?
Right.
Wiz.
Like,
I mean, he has so many.
Like I mentioned this on I mentioned this before, but usually when we're like told like, oh, the next fight's 3D, we're like, oh, okay. But that also leads to like some not skepticism, but at least to some people like keep bringing up, you know, some of the lesser 3D fights we've been getting over the past few years. Ever since we got the Blender team and whatnot.
It's always
Hasn't
Batgirl.
been that bad of a.
It's always
That was
Batgirl.
SFM.
But no, but when it comes to like 3D fights, people always go back to Batgirl vs Spider-Man. Look, people, it's been so many years now. Yes, we've taken the piss out of it.
Batgirl, Spider-Gwen, or Akuma versus Shao Kahn. Those are the two that keep getting brought up whenever.
I'll be honest,
it's like, it's the Blender team, and it's like, oh shit, okay.
I'll be honest, I actually like Shao Kahn. I think I've started to watch it a lot more lately, and I'm actually starting to like it. Mostly I got back into watching a lot of Street Fighter versus Mortal Kombat because I've been playing Mortal Kombat 1. We'll say, story mode is perhaps the best story mode Mortal Kombat's ever had.
I can agree with that.
Baraka got a chapter, man, and he was a badass.
I mean, when you get played by Steve Bloom, of course you're gonna be badass.
Yeah. I think people can stop calling Baraka the Dan Hibiki of Mortal Kombat. But, yeah, so back to this episode, though, like, soundtrack is good. I'll be honest, I didn't think anything for me would replace Discordia and Decipher. It's probably a hot take for people, but I think I do prefer Inhuman now. I'm sorry, Bill So versus Discord.
It is really good.
So I'm safe. Bills don't kill another Bill. So I'm fine.
It's really good. Like the chorus.
I'm just gonna say on a general hot take, like just in general, I think I just like this episode as a whole more than Bill Cipher versus Discord.
Hey, I'm glad I'm not the only one.
This fight's definitely a close second for me at the moment.
I'm kind of with the others as well. I think I might just put this over Bill Cipher versus Discord, but obviously my opinion could change and stuff like that. What's even more impressive though, like, I don't really know these characters so well, but it's making me go against Bill Cipher, which he's probably eyeing me up right now. Thinking like, when I get out of here, Bill.
So much of this fight was awesome, honestly. Like, especially the voice acting side of things. Oh man.
So spot on, really.
Yeah.
Paul with his third appearance in a row as Cole, and playing Alex was Kevin, who did phenomenal as Dimitri. I was so happy they brought him back.
I did think that was Dimitri's voice actor. I was like, that sounds like Dimitri.
Yeah, it was Dimitri. Yeah, it was good casting for sure. When I saw the preview, I was like, I heard their voices. I'm like, yeah, I don't recognize them. I usually try to like pick up on like who is voicing these people, and for this one, I was just like, nope, don't recognize their voices. And then Ben tweeted like, oh, by the way, it is Paul and Kevin. I'm like, I should have known it was Kevin. Damn it.
Paul's voice is insane. Like Silver Surfer to Discord to Cole McGrath. Jesus Christ.
I gotta say though, like,
monotoned.
The helicopter pilots in this fight, would they happen to have been trained in the art of Resident Evil, where they must crash?
Yes.
I'm just saying, like, helicopter pilots don't tend to get the best of luck in Resident Evil. They got forced
to land by Alex.
I mean, name one helicopter in Resident Evil that didn't get brought down by a monster. What? Damn it!
What the fuck are those? Nazis in HQ! I'm under attack by flying BOWs!
half.
Exactly. I think the only one who survived was in the first game, Brad, but then he died to Nemesis in the next few games. You're welcome. Also foreshadowing.
I love the setting. Like, I just love so much about this fight, honestly.
I'll be honest, I don't actually have any complaint about the fight itself, really. If I had to say why this probably won't... It's just in the top 3 for me. I'm still debating between Bill versus Discord in this one, but... I think the only thing that might put it just below Obito versus Darth Vader and Dragonborn versus Chose Undead is... The analysis, of course, was, well, good. Wasn't as good as, like, the other ones. But the fight itself, if I was just rating these episodes based on the fight, I would probably put this in 2nd place.
Right. I just love this fight so much. Like, they used one of Red Runner's shots in it, and I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, was it Mate or Sean that said that in their reaction?
Sean, probably.
Yeah, the little twirl he does. I was like... I remember seeing that years ago. I say years ago, I think it was like last year. Probably not even that long.
Yeah, he made like an animatic to like, help support voting for this matchup.
Yeah, so... I do remember there were some good shots in that. And I can actually kind of see it now. I'll play them side by side. There were some inspirations taken. Trust me, Red Runner.
There's one where Alex's blade clashes with Cole's amp, and Cole uses that to like electrocute Alex. I'm pretty sure that was from Red's storyboard as well.
Red Runner, I know exactly how you feel. They stole my animation idea from Boba Fett versus the Predator. We both deserve royalties.
Also, just Alex's transformation after Cole talks about it being a nightmare. It looks so good, especially with the dark lighting at first.
You also, don't know the half of it.
Jesus.
Yeah, that line, like, damn.
It's like, wow, they actually made Alex sound edgy, but also kind of badass. Something Radical couldn't even do.
The power of Andrew Rivera, ladies and gentlemen.
It is impressive.
The red eye glow, it's very brief, but honestly, I'll pause it on screen for people to look at. But just that little shot of his red eyes glow, put that on a wallpaper on your computer, man. That is so cool.
That is menacing as hell.
Also, I have to admit, in the office building, I was like, okay, this is gonna be like a great opportunity for like a hidden Easter egg, but I couldn't find any.
Yeah, I looked too. I didn't see anything.
Well, I do.
I saw a bunch of like.
It's too dark.
Actually,
I saw a bunch of like chip bags.
Yeah.
Like what?
Yeah, I see. I think that's meant to be like a food product in the country, but
yeah.
Obviously, being a British person, I'm not familiar with these brands. Like, if you put Haribo's on there, Whispers, then I would totally know. I bet Brobuscus listening to like Whispers.
You damn Britman.
Oh, if you think that's crazy, we have chocolates called Double Deckers. The name of our buses.
If you probably zoom in and brighten up the image at like 1437, you could try to make out the off-brands, because official branding licenses could get you in trouble. Or it could be ingredients from their sponsor, HelloFresh. Boom, there it is.
Nice.
God damn it, the lads aren't sponsored. When I reach 500 subscribers, maybe. We'll have to see.
Oh boy.
Hey, trust me, I'll sell out. If Raid Shadow Legends comes up to me, I'll be like, come on here, blood. I will advertise your man. I should start doing this accent.
I think my favorite part, like a lot of people, is towards the ending of the fight, when Cole is just like, the only vermin I see here is you. Like, god damn, Cole.
That was so hardcore. He gets impaled, still gives him like a fuck you response, and electric. The bit the lightning strikes the antenna, just, my god, that was so awesome. And then the music kicks in, and they're both just getting ready to fuck each other up. Just so good.
Yeah, that's a great moment.
Every time the chorus comes up, I just can't help but hum to it.
Same.
It is really good.
The bit.
To this... Go ahead, mate.
Also, I just love, like, you know, how the fight wraps up. Cole trying to, like, consume... Alex trying to consume Cole. Then Cole zapping him, turning it around, saying, hey, good idea. And just bio-leeching him.
That scream as well, like...
He bio... really good way to end this episode. Like, I know some people complain about disintegration deaths, but I think Cole nailed it perfectly.
Plus, it kind of makes
You're not
sense.
going to kill Alex a different way.
Like,
Yeah, not really.
if a nuke couldn't kill the bastard, then yeah, you need to disintegrate the fucker. In fact, do an underrated
Just that
moment.
ending line. That ending line, though.
I love that line.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good line.
This world isn't perfect, but it's a lot better without you in it, asshole.
Yeah. A really underrated moment has to be when, after Cole shocks Alex away near the antenna, the fact he's impaled, gets up and just powers up and he doesn't even just run towards it, he starts walking at first, like, motherfucker, you just got impaled and you're just slow walking. Like, what a badass.
Like,
But I mean, absorbing
felt-
electricity does heal him.
Yeah, but it's the fact he just got
that
impaled.
wound didn't heal though at first.
Yeah,
The wound didn't heal at first though, if you notice. And he felt that and he's like, I gotta put him down for good or I'm dead.
just and the bit when the armor comes on, they start clashing, just so good. In fact, if you slow it down, there's you get some really good shots of like a nice moment. I don't think you'll notice it in the fight, but you notice when he's in his armor, Cole's attacks aren't actually hurting him, which is a really good detail because yeah, that armor's meant to be like his invincible mode.
Even when he's stabbing him in the face.
The shot of them falling with like the sun in the background and Alex has his blade out.
Gosh.
Oh, that's
Like-
cool.
Again, wallpaper material.
Yeah, you could pause at so many moments and you're just getting really awesome wallpaper. Like, you know, people saying like, oh, the analysis portion is like, oh, it really does feel like an old episode. It's like, well, the fight sure doesn't.
After 12 years of waiting, man, the fight itself is worth it for the wait.
Yeah, it's so good. Like I said, if I was just judging episodes just on the fight, this would be like in second place for me.
I just
Although I
love
don't
like
think
the
this
general
episode-
like.
I don't think this episode would be as good if they did it like way back when.
No.
Nah, so you know what? For the people that waited, it was worth it. And
Hell yeah, it was.
just a death scream from Alex as well. It's like, Jesus.
How long before a good idea becomes the new time her meme?
I believe it.
I don't.
Or
really-
I can do that too.
I don't see that becoming a meme, but I'll be happy to be proven wrong. But it's got to be used for like a good moment.
Oh, this community turns freaking every line into a meme. So,
That's
good idea will become a meme at some point.
You know what, people? If you can come up with some good idea memes, then I'll be happy to hear them.
Well, I didn't say they were good. I just said they were memes.
Hey,
I
I
was saying before,
Alright, but I was just gonna quickly say, we had fans do that whole Trunks silver blue screen meme, for Christ's sake.
Oh yeah,
I wouldn't be
Yeah.
surprised.
yeah. I was
That was our fault.
I was surprised how popular that got. That was just a funny like lol lads joke.
Kind of to the point where, like, I don't want to sound like I'm blowing smoke up any of our asses, but when SpongeBob the Aquaman came out, Luis released that whole like portal blue screen thing. I feel like maybe we had a little bit of influence on that.
Oops.
I mean,
That's like the one thing I will claim.
I know Louise and Nick do watch our episodes. They've commented on them before, so I wouldn't put it past them. Yeah, I was happy with this episode. It was really good, and yeah, that's all I got to say. Really, it was a good episode, despite the fact I'm not really invested in these two franchises. I might even someday play their games in the future, assuming they can be put to next-gen consoles, please.
Prototype is on Xbox, but
I have the Biohazard bundle right next to me that I still haven't played.
Hey, if Persona 4 can be brought back from PS2 to PS4 and 5, then
That was a
not
PS2
impossible.
game?
yes,
yeah.
Jesus
It was
Christ.
a PS Vita game.
I was
that was
not.
Persona 3,
I was.
and they're remaking that game completely.
I thought Persona 4 was like a PS3 game. Like, wow, that game's old.
But still holds up. God, I love it.
Nerd.
playing through it right now.
I plan to stream it in the future.
Don't call him a nerd, considering what the next time is.
Y'all are weebs.
says the one with a fucking sword.
And?
The only thing my guy's holding is an orb, which to this day I still don't know what's wrong with it. Mate and Sean never want to talk about it.
To be fair, Brobuscus is also technically a nerd for a character for the next time.
Yeah, I guess with that line said, shall we move on with that segue, or?
I actually kind of want to, like, address a little something. It's just, like, I've been excited for matchups, like, this season, obviously, if in terms of, like, oh yeah, characters I like, or, oh, this is a long request, and fans really wanted it, this is awesome, but I haven't really had something that's got me, like, F yeah kind of hyped. Cue the next time. Oh boy!
Maybe, mate, this is a sign that you really need to watch things other than Ruby.
Well, Ruby isn't involved in the next time, so what does that tell you?
Well, okay, you know some things aside Ruby.